are going to miss that all the others that are not here are going to miss out on. But I hope that they have an opportunity to at least come back and listen to the recording. So thank you guys for those who have your cameras on and your ears open and an open mind today. I'm gonna read our daily reader because it's going right in alignment with what we're going to talk about today. And then I'm going to open this up to you guys, and hopefully I can get some vulnerability from one of you to do an exercise with me. So, with that being said, the power of choices, the power of right choices, and that's the Daily Reader today from John Maxwell. If you don't have the book, it's a great way to start your day, and I read that every day. There's some days I miss, but no matter what page you read, it's great, but they are dated. So the power of choices. Here's what it is. Life is a matter of choices, and every choice you make makes you. What will you do for your career? What will you do? Who will you marry? Where will you live? How much education will you get? What will you do with it today? But one of the most important choices you'll make is who will you become?
Mhm.
Life is not merely a matter of holding and playing a good hand as you would hope to do in a card game. What you start with isn't up to you. Talent is God given. Life is playing the hand you have already been dealt with. That is determined by your choices. The talent plus people are the ones who maximize their talent, reach their potential, and fulfill their destiny. I was reading a book by Dr. Seuss to my grandchildren called Oh, the Places You'll Go. In it, I found a wonderful truth that said, you have brains in your head, you have feet in your shoes. You can steer yourself any direction you choose. I believe that with all my heart. My prayer is that you steer yourself in the right direction and make right choices that will empower you to become a talent plus person. Build upon the foundation of your abilities and live your life to the fullest potential. Maximize your talent by steering your entire life in the right direction. Here's where we're going to go with this today. Good to see you, Margaret. Thank you guys for having your cameras on. And today, I was out in Dallas last week, and I'm just my mind was blown. And here's the thing: we all need to be refueled, right? The car runs low on fuel. We got to stop at the gas station to put fuel in it, right?
Mhm.
Our phones go low on battery. We got to plug it back in and refuel it with the charge, right? So our bodies get hungry. We put food in it to fuel it. This was fuel for me. So I was out in Dallas, and what was what was mind blowing to me was I was looking for a couple things out of that. I was looking to see what was a common denominator in all the success the people were having. What were their thought? What were their mindset? Who were they hanging out with? And what are their routines? And it all came down to the same things. It was mind blowing. It's all the same things. So I'm in a room with one agent out of Canada that's going to do $1 billion in sales. He's got 92 agents on his team. He's going to do $1 billion in sales. I was sitting with an individual who's a single agent, newer in the business, that's going to do 80 million in sales this year, less than 3 years in the business. No Zillow, no Realtor.com. I was in a conversation with another young man who was on a team, and on a team, he's doing 100 million in sales. And I'm going, we're so they've got all this massive business. What is the things that they got in common? And here's what it is: choices. They have a choice to do the work or not do the work. They have a choice to hang out with the right people or hang out with the wrong people. They have choices in their health and wellness. They have choices in their whatever they want. See, we all have choices. The thing we're not doing is we're not manifesting into what we want. So they manifest and they write their vision board and they do their goals and I'm gonna drop my pen, and they see the success before they even get there. They're writing it down. They're projecting to be in a certain location at a certain time and they do it. So they manifest. They manifest. And what we do in our business and society is, so society doesn't want us to succeed. Most people that you go around are going to say the real estate business sucks, right?
Mhm.
Who's hearing that?
Mhm.
Anyone? The interest rates. I'm not buying because of the interest rates. Who's hearing that? Right? It's not a good time to sell. It's not a seller's market anymore. Who's hearing that?
Mhm.
Right? Um, we're hearing every piece of garbage that is pulling us down from our success. See, but we have choices to either listen to it or ignore it. What do you choose to do? See, the choices that we make is going to directly reflect the business that we want to do. Manifest it. Manifest it. So I was in that room. There was a couple things that they really narrowed in on. Number one, they simplify the process of growing their business. Simplify. See, we overcomplicate things. We overcomplicate it, right, Sandra? You just giggled. We're looking for an ISA. Who's going to make calls for me? Who's going to make calls for me because I don't want to do it? How much do I have to spend on Zillow to be successful? How much do I have to spend on Realtor.com? How much do I have to spend on referrals? Oh my gosh, I'm sitting there and my team leader sucks because he's not giving me leads. Oh my gosh, my team member, Paul Saperstein, he's not a good person because he just sold a $2 million house and he gives me no leads. When do you have this sense of entitlement? You have a choice. You can do the work. And by the way, the success that you're seeing in people, they have a story. I heard the lady speak on stage and I was like, holy crap. I cannot believe she just told us what happened to her. 20 years old. She's massively in love with this slightly older man and goes on a trip with him because he's got a big boat and all this other stuff. And the boat won't start. And there's a smell of gasoline. And before you know it, the boat explodes into flames. She's the only one on the boat.
Yeah.
And she jumps into the water and she comes out of the water and her skin is just falling off of her. It took an hour for the life support helicopter to get there to her. So she was sitting there with her skin rolling off of her body. And she said to herself, I can either choose to live or I can choose to die. I'm going to choose to live. So she was in a burn ward for 3 months. And she kept telling herself, I'm going to survive this. I'm going to persevere through this. And the doctors told her, people with your extensive amount of burns never survive. 85%. You want to know who it is? Her name is Spring, Spring Bee. So if you go to springbee.com, Spring does probably earns $1 million a month or so. You would never know by looking at her what she had to overcome in life. She's a great coach. She's an amazing speaker. She's very humble. She had a choice. And she says, I've had a lot of surgeries. Yeah, I look okay because I got nice clothes on and everything, but I have 85% of my entire body burnt and nothing from here up, from like the top of her chest up. Spring bee. So we all have challenges in life. We all have obstacles, but we have a choice. And the choice is yours. So just when you look at someone and go, oh, they got it all together, let me tell you, they have a story behind it. But what they choose to do is simplify their business. And I'm going to dig into simplifying. They're very clear. They have clarity on what they want to accomplish. They're very clear on what that goal looks like. Who here has gotten in a car and said, I have to drive to this location and looks at a roadmap first?
You know, I'm like down to about like 40, 50 miles. I'm like, hey, so if you want to do tomorrow, you let me know when you want to go and we'll aim on that.
Hey, Mike, can you go ahead and mute, please? All right, good. All right, so who grabs a paper map when they're trying to drive somewhere to find location? Does anybody do a paper map anymore? What do you use? Sandra, what do you use if you're going somewhere and you need to know where you're going?
GPS.
Apple Maps, GPS. Now, what if you didn't have that? What would you use?
The
Paper map. What if you didn't have a paper map? And no Google, no internet. What do you do?
I will call the owner of the location and ask them for directions.
And then you would write it all down and go. Correct, right?
Yeah. Uh-huh.
So how do you get to that destination quicker? By calling the owner for directions, by a paper map, by Google Maps or whatever maps? Which one's the fastest?
The Google map for me.
The GPS, right?
Uh-huh.
So we simplified the process with technology. We simplified the process with leaning on that, right? We no longer have to call the owner. We no longer have to look at the paper maps. See, why aren't you simplifying the processes in your business? And I'm going to dig into that. Clarity, have very clear goals. Where are you going? So if you're going to be traveling somewhere, you know the location you're going to.
Mm-hmm.
So if you don't have a destination that you're looking to get to between now and the end of the year, you need to get very clear on that. And we're going to simplify that process in a minute. So be very, very clear on where you want to go. And then once we become very clear on where we want to go, we have to think of the people we're around daily. I would kind of pause and reflect on that and think about, who am I surrounded around daily? Are they people that pick me up or pull me down? Now, sometimes it might be our loved ones. Sometimes it might be our family. Sometimes it might be our spouses or our kids. But how, you have a choice. How are you going to be around those people and show up to not allow them to pull you down? And then you got to manifest it, right? So let's talk about simplifying. If you want to amplify your business, simplify it. Get back to the core of your success. The core of your success. Who on here wants to be a volunteer for me? Who's been in the business a few years and had a huge success at one time and is not doing as good, probably, or whatever? What has made you very successful in real estate? Does anybody want to volunteer? Come on. I'm going to pick somebody out of the crowd. Okay. Only because I know you. Olivia, can you put your camera?
Good morning.
Good morning. Olivia, I know you're always learning based, you're coachable, and you're always going to training and everything else. Olivia, at what moment has made you most successful in real estate? What are the activities that you have done that's made you extremely successful in real estate?
I think it's number one, answering the phones, being responsive, and then also prospecting, and working quickly with
When you
time
say
efficiency.
when you say prospecting, tell me a little bit more about what prospecting is. What does that look like?
Calling anyone that you know, or cold calling leads to get business.
Calling anyone, calling leads to get business, right? So
Conversations. Yeah.
conversations, right? So let me ask you a question. If you don't do the prospecting, would you be looking for a full-time job somewhere?
Yeah,
So if you
definitely.
didn't do the prospecting, would you have any closings?
I would not have closings. Yeah.
If you didn't do the prospecting, would you get appointments for the closings?
No, I wouldn't have appointments either.
Yeah. So let me ask you a question. Are you reaching your goals? Are you achieving your goals right now?
No, so when you said that, it made me think of me, because I at one point had I know ebbs and flows in real estate, but right now I'm kind of in a lull. So I'm trying to, be very efficient with time and prospecting every morning, and connecting that to my database now so that people go directly into a drip campaign. So it's like all automated instead
Mhm.
of, what I was doing before, which was handwriting into a notebook and then adding them in.
That's fantastic. I'm gonna use you right now. Are you okay with that?
Yeah, sure. Of course, Tom.
All right. Now, Olivia, what is your goal between now and the end of the year? And if you don't know it, I want you to not make one up. I want you to be realistic. How many closings do you want between now and the end of the year? Guys, I want you to really pay attention to this because I want you to work with me on this. And I want you to be very transparent and honest with yourself. So you go ahead and start writing these things down because I'm going to give you the roadmap to this, okay? Olivia, how many
Okay.
closings would be your goal between now and the end of the year?
I'd like two per month, so like probably 12 would be
Okay.
great.
So if we're already pretty much through June, would you say that we really have 5 months left?
Yeah, so I guess 10. Yep.
So would it be 10 or 12 so we can narrow it in?
We could do 10 to be, on the safe side.
So, so, so if you had 10 closings between now and the end of the year, what would that do for you?
It would help me keep real estate as my full-time job, and do what I love, and then help grow the business, and help save for a wedding, and feed the critters.
Let me ask you this. When are you getting married?
We don't have a date yet, but we're hoping summer 2025.
Okay. All right. Good. What else would those 10 closings do what would they contribute to?
Um, buy a house too.
And when would you and if you had those 10 closings, would you be looking to buy a home at that moment or putting money aside for to a purchase of a home?
Yeah, it's a group decision, so I'd be putting it aside for when the time is right.
So if you had 10
Correct.
closings, how much is your average commission?
So I do a little bit more lower end, so it's usually around 350,000 average sale price. So I think it's like around 7,000.
Olivia, let me tell you something. 350,000 is not a low price point. That's a really good price point. So think about that. Don't compare yourself to the other realtors that are closing $1 million deals. Compare yourself to you, right? So you said 7,000, right? So that means
Yeah,
you're going to earn 70,000 between now and the end of the year.
right. Yeah.
Okay. How much of that 70,000 are you going to put towards the wedding?
Probably 20,000.
Probably 20 or 20. If you made the 70,
Oh,
what
definitely. I'll go towards the wedding.
Okay, all right. Now I'm working with you because this is going to help you, Olivia, and I want you to go back and listen to this, okay?
Okay.
So you're going to have $20,000 at the end of the year. What is your fiance going to say when you show him that we have $20,000 in our wedding account, what's that gonna do for him?
Yeah, he'll be happy about it.
Okay. And when you have that $20,000, is that for the wedding or is that for the purchase of a home?
That goes towards the wedding right now. Yeah.
Okay, so out of the 70,000, how much is going to go towards the purchase of your new home?
Anything that's left over.
So your fiance
Yeah.
is taking care of everything else and you're taking care of the dream home and the wedding.
Yeah, I want to contribute as much as I can.
Okay, so we got taxes and everything else in there. So
Right.
whatever that amount is. Now let me ask you something. If you don't achieve that at all, what what kind of disappointment will that be to you and him?
Yeah, it's very disappointing already. So
Can I give you a rundown on what it's going to take for you to achieve that goal?
yeah,
Okay.
definitely.
So if you need 10 closings and you prospect every day, how many people do you think you need to talk to a day?
I don't know the amount of people. I just so what I normally do is I just put in the time out, and if people pick the phone up and I get to talk to them, then that's all I can do. I mean, I can't control if they answer the phone.
Okay, so what we can control is how many conversations we have. You ready? So how many
Okay.
people do you actually have to talk to, do you think, to get 10 closings?
Probably like 200.
Okay, so I'm going to break this down for you, okay?
Okay.
For every closing, there's a 20% fallout, right? So you actually have to have 12 properties under contract to close 10. Okay.
Okay.
So if you need 10 closings and you need 12 under contract to close 10, how many people do you need to talk to get to an appointment? What do you think? How many people do you talk to get an appointment,
Oh,
do you think?
so out of 100 calls that I make, I have a 2% pickup rate.
Okay, so
That's what I know.
so you talk to two people out of 100 dials?
Yes.
Okay, so how many people do you need to talk to get an appointment?
Probably
Not dials, just speak to.
probably around the 200 to 250 area. Probably I need at least, because not everyone actually wants to, when they pick up, they don't actually want to put their home back on the market. They're like, they took off for one reason or another, personal decision. They want to stay in the home, or they have the agent, already again.
So if you need to talk to 200 people for one appointment, is that what you're saying?
Yeah, I think that could be a good number.
So if you need 12 properties under contract, you're probably going to need 24 appointments, correct? Because 50% conversion.
Yeah.
So now if I took 24 appointments times 100 conversations, you need to have 2,400 conversations between now and the next 5 months.
Okay.
So there's an average of 22 days per month, right? 22 days per month on average. So 2,400 the divided by 5 months equals divided by 22 equals. That means you have to have 22 conversations a day.
Okay.
You need to have 110 conversations per week.
I'm sorry that I'm interrupting, but how do you get these numbers? So then, each one I think can get their own numbers.
Correct. So it was her numbers. Remember, she said it takes me 200 people to get an appointment.
Yeah.
So it's her numbers.
Okay.
So
But how do you get from her numbers to these numbers? You say something about 50% conversion.
yeah, so that's National Association of Realtors on the very low end. get 50-50 conversion. The best people get 70%. So if she went on 20 or 4 appointments and got 70 or 80%, she would actually close more sales on her skill set. So, and by the way, these are her numbers, right? So Olivia, you need to have 110 conversations per week, 22 per day. And here's what I would say. If you did those 22 conversations a day, you would earn the money you're looking for. How committed are you to that goal?
Yeah, I'm 100% committed.
Okay, so if you're 100% committed, when will you be making these 22 conversations in the day?
In the mornings.
So what time in the mornings?
I am aiming to do it by 8:30, and right now it's coming in at 9 o'clock. I get started with them, so 9 to like noon.
And how many hours does it take to talk to 22 people, do you think?
It takes me an hour and a half to get 2 people to pick up, so it's not pretty
So-
right. But those are old, those are new expired. So if I go old expireds, it's more conversations
Yeah.
or geo prospecting.
I want you to think about this, Olivia. I want you to think about this for a second. And everybody on this call, if you have 22 conversations a day about real estate, so make sure they're at least 2 minutes. You need to track and calculate. That's exactly right, Matt. So I'm gonna challenge you, Olivia, that if you did 22 conversations a day, that's 110 a week. I promise you, you're going to be doing 2 to 3 appointments per week. You want to know why?
Yes.
Number one, you're going to be talking to more people than you currently do. Number two, you're going to build your skill set because you're going to go on more appointments. Number three, the more appointments you go on, the more you're going to build your skill set to convert those into actual contracts. And we know once we go on a contract, we close. Here's where I want you to simplify to amplify, right? So simplifying how many conversations you need to have a day in order to achieve the goal. Guys, this is from teams doing $1 billion in sales, 200 million in sales. These are team leads that are doing it with their teams that are, they get the number of conversations. And by the way, Olivia, some of these big teams and brand new agents, all they have to have, ready, is 5 conversations a day to earn $200,000 in 1 year. 5 2-minute real estate conversations is 25 per week. That's 1,250 a year. That's 625 in 6 months, which leads to 25 closings. But I went off of what numbers you gave me. But I want you to simplify it. I want you to find the motivated. Find the motivated, whether it's expired, circle prospecting, open houses, database, for sale by owners. There's tons of opportunity. You just have to make that full commitment that you said you're going to do to have those conversations. See, we overcomplicate it. In any of our businesses, we're overcomplicating the process. What am I going to say if I go on the appointment? Just go on an appointment and then figure it out. But here's what you can do to better prepare for this appointment. Download your listing presentation. Download your buyer's presentation. Get your marketing material in place. Be prepared when you meet with those sellers. Be prepared when you meet with those buyers. That's how you're going to win the consumer. And that's how you're going to win the business. See, we overcomplicate it. Simplify it to amplify. Be very clear on the goal. And then surround yourself around the people that are going to hold you accountable to help you achieve that goal. See, if Olivia, if I said to Olivia, you're committed to lead generating from 9 o'clock to 11 o'clock. Let's just say 2 hours. What gets in the way of you doing those 2 hours?
Myself?
Distractions, ourself, the fear of the unknown, the being uncomfortable to make the calls, being uncomfortable to call a first hour, but being uncomfortable to knock on doors, being uncomfortable. We're looking for a distraction to pull us away from our lead generation. We're looking for those distractions, right? So if we say yes to Matt calling you between 9 and 11 and you answer that phone, you've just told your business Matt's more important than my business. Matt is more important than your business. But anyway, what I'm getting at is, how can you protect your time? Life gets in the way, I get it, but how can you protect your time to what you're really committed to? We got to stop overcomplicating it. And we got to make sure that we're not allowing all these other shiny objects to get in the way. What will it take for you to do your daily goal? And then that's it. Break it down to the day. What am I going to do today? What's my daily committed goal for today? And then you can be off the rest of the day or whatever it is. I have to have 22 real estate conversations today, period. Olivia, if it takes you all day, do it all day. Don't do anything else until you get your 22 conversations a day. And by the way, 22 conversations a day is not a lot, because we used to have this thing that we call the Bold 100 challenge, where we would make 100 contacts in a day. Now that's hard. That's standing out, handing out cards, that's knocking on doors, that's everything. You can have 22 real estate conversations at an open house if you do it properly. You can have 22 real estate conversations if you do a buyer seminar. How to buy a home with the NAR changes. Do a buyer seminar. How to sell a home with the NAR changes. Do a seller seminar. These are all things that all we do is we overcomplicate and we try to always be the next best thing. And I will tell you that some of the most prominent athletes in the world didn't become that professional athlete by not training every single day, by staying focused on what's important to them. Do you know Michael Jordan used to look for the negativity before a game, because he took that negativity as fuel to prove someone wrong. So don't worry about what other people think. Focus on what's important to you, your goal, your upcoming wedding, the upcoming home that you desire to buy, and you got to stop worrying about what people think. What are they going to think of me? Do I look okay in this video? Am they going to yell at me when I make this call? We got to stop. We got to focus on visualizing. When we make that contact, we're going to build a relationship. By the way, here's the thing too. Greg Harrelson said this. He's been in business 30 years. He's a great coach, and he's out of Myrtle Beach. His team in his office will sell 4,000 homes this year. He said, when I tell somebody 6 times, when I have 6 conversations with someone, they haven't heard me at all. When I have the 7th conversation with them, they heard me once. So what he was saying by that is, you got to talk to them 7 times before they even acknowledge the conversation with you. So if you're calling a for sale by owner, call them 7 times. Call them every day for 7 days. An expired, call them every day for 7 days. Try it. There was a text message that Suneet shared with us, and I want to share this with you guys. And if you did this, it would probably help you grow your business. And here's what it is. Let me see. Oh, here's a great quote that I heard. If you're not reaching your goal, do you want to increase your activities or do you want to reduce your goal? Which one do you want to do? That's kind of a gut punch, isn't it? Nobody wants to reduce their goal. So, so Suneet sends out 10 text messages a day. And here's what he says. All right. Send here it is right here. Pull it up. So he sends it out to his database, 10 a day. So he pulls up his list and he just goes through 10 a day. And he says, hey, with the new NAR lawsuit, how can I best help you understand what's really going on for buyers and sellers? With the new NAR lawsuit, how can I best answer any concerns or questions about buyers and sellers in this new settlement? That's it. That's all he's sending out. That's it. You need to track and calculate how many customers you close, buyer, seller. So if for every 10 people you talk to, you get 5 appointments and convert 2 of them. Yeah. So the National Association of Realtors statistics show that for every 100 leads you get through internet, you get one appointment. For every 50 people you speak to that you cold call, for sale by owners, expireds, open houses, you get 1 appointment. For everyone in your database between 10 and 12 people, 10 and 12 conversations, you'll get 1 appointment. So we want to always, we never want to bother our friends and family because we don't see, nobody wants to be sold. Everyone wants to buy, but nobody wants to be sold. So everyone in your database, call them. Hey, Olivia, it's Tom Martin, EXP, just checking in. Haven't spoken to you in a while. First of all, I want to apologize. Second, would you be open if I sent you a monthly newsletter on the current market conditions? Is this still your email? Fantastic. How's everything? Everything good? Fantastic. Great catching up with you. Have a nice day. That's it. Did I sell them anything? No. Did I ask them for business at that moment? No. I haven't spoken to them in a while. I was on a call with a team 3 weeks ago, and I said, open up your old leads, and I'm going to call with you. So I called some of the old leads and said I was them from 2 years ago. And we set 3 appointments, and we only spoke to 10 people. So go back and look at all your old leads, everything. All right, I want to open this up to you guys. I hope that you got something out of today that's going to help you move forward. Some of my numbers I don't know, so I guesstimated 38 conversations a week, 10 conversations a day, intentional conversations. Yes, April, you just hit it right there directly. You know, simplify it into the daily activities. Olivia, I wasn't picking on you. You just happened to be there, so I had to dig into you. And I know you've gone to a lot of the trainings, and I know you're working hard on this. So, anyone? Come on, come on.
Thank you for your help, and I'll keep you posted on the progress.
Yeah, I mean, listen, it's your thing, right? It's your thing, Olivia. It's your future. It's your marriage, your wedding, your home, right? And if you can get that money saved in that amount of time, that's a huge accomplishment. Margaret.
Okay, so I like what you just said about calling people to get them onto the database, and that's where I am right now. So I'm just really new into this, and I need to create a database. And I know a lot of people, but I think sometimes they're hesitant, like they don't want to have more email. So I'm kind of nervous about just how to go about asking for their email address.
Do you mind if I ask you a couple questions?
Sure.
Is that you thinking they're going to be worried about you asking for their email, they're on email overload, or is that them telling you they're on email overload?
Well, it was the first person that I asked.
That's right.
So, because, yeah, so it was the very first person. And I started thinking, oh, well, I get a lot of emails too. And then if they're really not interested in, like, they have a house, they know they don't really want to buy or sell, why do I need this email? Or, why do I get more? Why would I want to have, like, I'm not interested. So this is me thinking,
Yeah.
they're
Yeah.
thinking.
We tell ourselves silly stories, don't we? We do. So, Margaret, if you talk to 100 people and you do a survey that 99 of them don't want your email, then maybe that's the wrong approach. But if you got 100 people and 50 of them say, yeah, I'd love for you to send me the email, that's a win. That's a huge win. Now you got 50 people in your database. So one person saying that, and plus our silly stories we tell ourselves, we need to stay uncomfortable until we have hundreds of conversations. So here's my recommendation. If I was coaching you, Margaret, I would just say, if you want to build your database, take the cell phone, start with all your A's. Hey, Margaret, it's Tom Martin. I'm with EXP. Listen, I want to apologize. I haven't spoken to you in a while, and I would love an opportunity to send you real estate market reports monthly. Would you be open to seeing what the real estate market's doing monthly? And it won't overload your emails. It's just a monthly newsletter. Would you be okay if I sent that to you?
Okay. Yeah, I think I was just kind of looking for the script. So you repeated it, so I appreciate that. Just the words to ask for it.
Yeah. If you haven't spoken to them in a while, you want to apologize for not reaching out. I'd love to send you, and the other thing too, Margaret, hey, go through your phone. If you know they own a home, hey, Margaret, this is Tom Martin with EXP. I haven't talked to you in a while, and I would love to send you an equity analysis on your home so you can update your net worth. Would you be open to that?
Okay. That's reasonable, simple request. Okay, I'll try that.
So, even your neighbors. Hey, hey, Mr. Neighbor, listen, I'm in the real estate business and I'd love to provide you an equity analysis of your home. It doesn't matter what you owe on it. I'll send you an email with a equity report on what your home value is so you can update your net worth. Would that be okay?
Okay, that sounds great because I'm offering them something. So I'm asking for something, but I'm offering. So I like that.
And let me ask you this. Who do you know that's ever approached you ever to say, hey, would you be open to equity analysis on your home so you can update your net worth? Most people don't even look at their equity in their home towards their net worth.
Okay.
Yeah. So inside of your KV Core, once you get them in there and their address in there, bottom right corner, it's an evaluation tab. You can click that, send it to them, and then send them a message. Say, I just did an automated one. Tell me what you think of it, and I could do a more detailed one for you. It's going to tell them what their mortgage is, how much equity they have, everything. So,
Okay, awesome. Thank you. I wasn't aware of that. So I need to familiarize myself more with it. So
yeah. So my recommendation, Margaret, would be take 15 minutes a day and learn KV Core. That's it. Don't do more than that. You're going to put yourself on overload or frustration. 15 minutes a day. Or there's a young lady who will help you get your KV Core set up and put campaigns together, which is amazing. She does have a fee for some of this stuff. Her name is Alyssa Pimentel. Just look her up on Workplace. Alyssa, Alyssa, Pimentel, Pimental. And she's working on databases of many of the agents with me, and they are thanking me for it. And it's not unreasonable. It's not even an unreasonable cost.
Okay, great.
So
Thank you very much.
thanks
Hey,
for
I used Alyssa for my database. She's awesome. She's fast. For additional costs, she can also set up landing pages for you, help you with your website. I mean, she's a KV core ninja. And then if you're looking for branding, symbols, anything like that, her brother or cousin actually does that as well. I used him for some branding. So
yeah. Well,
Okay,
here
great. Thank you.
I'm going to put her Facebook page in the link here so you guys can have it if you want. Here's the other thing I would say. So she can do your email signatures. She could, for when you send out an email, have a nice signature attached to it. So if you click on her Facebook, it'll go right to her Facebook page on Alyssa Pimentel. Send her a message. She's truly, she's a mom and she loves the technology side of things. So she can definitely help you out.
Great. Thank you.
Fantastic. You're welcome, Margaret. Thanks for asking. Where are you at, Margaret? What part of the country are you in?
I'm in Parma, Ohio. It's close to Cleveland, Ohio.
Okay. So is it got some good weather up there right now?
Yeah, it's warm, but I love it. So yeah, it's great.
Are you close to where Rich and Dave are? Gresco? Rich Gannon?
Yes, actually, yes. Uh-huh. Yes, I'm on Dave's team. So
Fantastic.
yeah.
So, Margaret, if you did this exercise that I did with Olivia, with Dave, and just say, hey, I think this could be important to do with our entire team, because those are your goals, which creates the team goal. Okay. And
Yes.
it could really turn around a whole lot. Now, I know your market is a very, very intense seller's market. And if you were on my team, and I'm not telling you what to do, or I'm not discounting what Dave's doing with you, but if you were on my team in the market that you're in, I would tell you to find an open house and host it. I would tell you, even if the home is under contract, ask the seller if you can do an open house. And then what I would do is I would knock on all the neighbors' doors and I would say, hey, we have buyers who are interested in this community. Do you know anyone looking to sell? Most sellers won't allow you to do open houses once it's under contract. I get it. But you know what? You have almost no inventory up there. It's an opportunity to bring them in, right? This one's on the contract, but we have more. Gives you an opportunity to be the storefront, get these people, have conversations.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Yeah, because
Yeah,
Dave,
I talk to my neighbors. I walk around the neighborhood. I meet people all the time. I'm always having conversations, but it's not about real estate. So, but I'm really just starting. I've been working in the school, so as a teacher, and school's out now, so I just want to really focus on this. So I'm just really getting started.
yeah, my daughter's kindergarten teacher reached out to us. You know why she reached out to us? Because this is what happened. So my daughter and my daughter's 20 now, by the way. Her kindergarten teacher reached out to us. So I remember Peyton telling me, and she was in kindergarten. She said, "Daddy, Sophie's going to be homeless in front of Miss Reinhardt, right?" And I said to Peyton, I said, I know Sophie's dad does very well. I'm going to have to call him. What do you mean homeless? And Miss Reinhardt said to me, hey, did you ever talk to Steve the next day? I said, yeah, they're not homeless. They're looking to sell and buy a home. So
Mhm.
guess who got the listing? Guess who helped them buy that nearly $1 million home? We did. And by the way, when we listed the home, we got the buyer. So it was 3 sales off of my daughter telling me her friend was going to be homeless. So I told Miss Reinhardt the story, and she contacted my wife last week. They're selling her newlywed husband. They're selling each of their homes and they're buying a home. So that's going to be 3 more additional sales. So as a school teacher And being surrounded around parents can give you a good opportunity. You don't have to ask them, hey, here's my direct number if you want to give me a call, and give them your business card. I don't know how the school feels about that. You might have to ask permission or whatever, but yeah, definitely do a teacher appreciation day hosted by Margaret the Realtor.
Yeah, that's the creative way. Yeah, that's a good idea.
You know what? At the school, ask the school if it's okay if you do an Easter egg hunt hosted by Margaret the Realtor or one of the close parks, and market it off to all the teachers and all the parents of all the kids. Hey, Halloween's coming up. Let's make a bunch of pumpkins and put them on. How many homes do you have in your direct community of where you live?
How many homes?
Yeah.
I have no idea.
All right. Well, think about this. Think about this for a second. And Halloween's going to be coming up in October. It's right around the corner, right? Get the mini pumpkins. They're like 20, 25 cents a piece. Get 100 of them. And get little sticker packages that can put little stickers on the little pumpkin.
Okay.
And then staple your business card to the stem and put those on 100 doors in your neighborhood,
Oh, I love that idea.
right on the patio. You're gonna
Yeah,
call
that's a cute
me,
idea. Yeah.
you're gonna say, Tom, holy crap, I got business from that. Because they love those, they adore those little pumpkins. No one's gonna say, hey, you solicited me. No, because they're gonna take the pumpkin, they're gonna put the stickers on it, or the kids will put the stickers on it, and they're gonna love it.
Okay, that's a great idea. That's very creative.
I stole it from someone else. I've been doing this a long time. I hear a lot of things that are work. Here's the other thing that works. What you focus on works.
I agree.
Work works. All right, guys, I'm out. I got 2 minutes. Anybody have a burner that they want to throw in or anything? Guys, have an amazing week. Those of you that showed up, I want you to tell all the other people who didn't show up, they missed out massively. Matt, we'll see you at 10, right?
Friday, right?
Oh, that's right. Yeah. I got a
If only we had calendar reminders set up.
I do. I do.
I know I was being a smart ass.
I know. I know you are. Happy Father. I hope you had a great Father's Day, bud.
Yeah, brother. I'm adjusting that 72 sold house right now because the attorney did not like my lack of grammar and punctuation in the description. So he wrote me a full description to correct. So, which in turn I wrote back to him. I can't put perfect family home. I can't put walking distance because it violates the Fair Housing Acts. And as an attorney, I wouldn't want him to do that. So,
Right.
this dude's a gem.
Yeah, I know. Isn't it crazy how they yeah. Well,
So I adjusted it and put distances in it instead of saying walking, etc.
well. All right, guys. I appreciate you all. Have an amazing day.
Yeah, you do the same, man.
Crush it.
Thank you.
Crush it. Seriously. Get very clear on what you want, simplify it, and just do the daily activities. I have to do them too. I love keeping notes. So yesterday was day 1 of the week. So I put a little slash. I'll put a slash today and then a slash and then a cross through that I did my 5 days, my 10 conversations, my 10 text messages. This is my simplified business plan right there. We all got them. Have a great day.
Thank you.